Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Danz Newz, and welcome to the very first Danz Newz Reviews. Alright, so this is the very first Danz Newz Reviews. Now, this is the very first time I'm doing this, so yeah. You're going to see the next couple Danz Newz Reviews, me wearing the same shirt. It's because I'm filming all of them on the same day. That's why. I do change clothes. Unlike Seamus, he always wears a Slurm shirt. So all the Danz Newz Reviews you will be seeing on this channel, my channel, are all going to be DVD Blu-ray reviews. For the theatrical reviews, movies released in theaters, you will be seeing them on youtube.com/thecreaturehub. There aren't any of those yet, but when there are, I'll let you know. I'll make a video so you can know in an update. So the very first movie I'm reviewing, Tailor, Soldier Spy. So yeah, the basic setup of this movie is that there is a mole in the British intelligence. And it's up to Gary Oldman's character, George Smiley, who is a retired former spy, to come back out of retirement and figure out who the mole is, because he's worked with all these people before and he has a history with all these people. And then that's pretty much the synopsis of the movie, and that's pretty much all that happens in the movie. Honestly, it's probably one of the... Here's the thing. I'm going to give you a quick little rundown of the kind of movies I like. I like a lot of different kind of movies. I even like really slow movies that have really good performances involved. And I have to say, in this movie, the performances are all excellent. There is not a bad performance amongst any of the actors. Gary Oldman, usually you're used to seeing Gary Oldman in a bit more of an eccentric character. You know, he played Stansfield in The Professional. He played whatever character he played. He played the bad guy in The Fifth Element. And more recently, he's been the bad guy in The Book of Eli. Well, he hasn't been the bad guy too much recently, but The Book of Eli, he played a very excellent, eccentric kind of bad guy character. And those are the characters he usually kind of plays as eccentric characters. Dracula, Sirius Black, and Harry Potter. Usually his characters are a bit larger-than-life kind of characters that are all over the place. In this movie, I mean, I knew going in from all the reviews and everything I've seen that this character was going to be a very slow, kind of quiet character. I mean, his character doesn't talk for the first 20 minutes of the movie, and probably a little bit shorter than that, probably about the 15-minute mark or so. His character doesn't say a word. He just says everything with his expressions. He's very serious, no-nonsense kind of character. He doesn't even... I mean, he's having conversations with characters without even talking kind of thing. And it's really... It's an impressive feat that I think he managed to achieve there. But that's kind of where the movie stopped interesting me. Was past the performances, there wasn't a whole lot more to it. Now, I know this was based on a book, an adaptation of the book, Tailor, Soldier Spy, written by John le Carre, and it had also been adapted previously, I believe, in a television miniseries. You gotta love that I did all this research for this review. I didn't do any. I just trivia. So I'm aware it was a miniseries as well as a book, and it's actually a series of books, if I am correct in assuming that. I'm not assuming that. I'm pretty sure that there were more than one book in the series with George Smiley, the character. And I haven't read the book and I haven't seen the miniseries. So I'm basing the movie solely on it being an adaptation of the book. And I'm judging it on a movie. Honestly, as I said before, I'm a fan of slow movies with good performances, but I mean just the performances alone didn't do it for me. The movie was, honestly, it was hard to follow for me. I mean, I was following it, but I didn't see what point much of it had. I mean, the movie starts off, there's a mole in British intelligence. All right, so I know there's a mole in British intelligence. I already knew that from the trailers. But from there on, it's like the entire movie, I'm like, okay, they've told me this. They've told me this. They've told me this. I couldn't tell you one thing that's going on right now, and all I know is there is a mole in British intelligence. Okay, they're gathering information. Okay, this guy is being kind of blacklisted, and this person was kicked out for this reason. And it all felt like it should have been building up to something, but by the time it built up to something, I didn't care. I got to the point where it was the last 20 minutes of the movie. It was building up to, okay, here's the reveal of who the mole was. And at that point, I was like, okay, if it could, I know all of the characters that it could be. If any of these characters was the mole, I wouldn't be shocked or surprised. Even if the mole was Gary Oldman, I was like, I'm not going to be surprised. And, eventually they revealed the character, and, it's not like it was like, oh, it was him all along. It was just like, oh, how could he do it? I really had very little reaction to the reveal of the mole. Honestly, I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was, but the movie just wasn't grabbing me. The cinematography, the presentation of the movie, and like I said, the performances are great, but there's nothing really remarkable happening. I mean, the movie did really well, kind of putting you in this time period, but and creating this tension, but it all seemed for nothing for me. I was never really grabbed by the story. It just seemed like a series of events that led to an unveiling of a mole character, and that was pretty much it. It wasn't that fascinating to me. So yeah, ultimately it fell kind of flat for me. Great performances, story. I mean, the story just seemed like a series of, events. But yeah, so that's pretty much, those are all my thoughts on the movie. I give the movie a very solid 2 out of 4. I don't know if I could budge a whole lot farther from that. The story is the biggest thing for me when it comes to movies. There aren't too many movies that I can let slide just because of great performances. So 2 out of 4. I don't know. Critics seem to love this movie, and it made me think like, wow, this movie is going to be great. It built it up in my mind, I guess, that I thought it was going to be something that was really going to bring me in. And in the end, it was kind of unremarkable. I don't know if I would sit down and watch it again, because maybe I might actually sit down and watch it again, just knowing who the mole is and watching and seeing those signs that were planted throughout the movie. But yeah, kind of meh. And I hate to say that, because I really, really wanted to like this movie, but in the end, personally, I just didn't like it. So yep, that is my review of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. If you have any suggestions of other movies you would like me to see me review, whether it's a movie I've seen already or a movie you've seen, one of your favorite movies, leave it down in the comments section below, and I will definitely look into it. Maybe you'll suggest something that I really liked that I want to review, or maybe it's something I haven't seen that you really think I should see. So let me know.